Hello, friends, and welcome once again to the mailbag. I don't know which mailbag this is, but I hope you enjoy it. I'm Imperial.
It's number 5.
It's mailbag
number 6.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Joined by Six.
Hello.
And Lulis. Lulis Brindley. How are you guys doing?
Hi, I'm writing in. Dear mailbaggers, mailman,
Mail people, mail friends.
I'd like to strongly complain about something that was said in the latest episode of the podcast.
Go on.
You
Me?
And your friends
Right.
know nothing about subject and quite frankly offended me.
Okay.
And my family. I have been so upset that I have written this very long and sternly worded email, very long as well, and just to waste your time, really.
Yeah. Because it turns out I also don't really know much about what I'm talking about. So here we are. Two people butting heads together, and neither of us know what we're talking about.
On that note, I have an email from James. Lewis calling out Kurzgesagt on their accuracy seemed pretty rich to me.
There we go.
Naturally, the standard for Lewis should be lower as an entertainer rather than an educator. But even so, his track record isn't pretty. To cite his own words from earlier in the same podcast, he claimed that their video on milk portrayed it positively. However, aside from debunking some claims that it is carcinogenic or contains large doses of certain hormones, the video also made a point of highlighting its contribution to obesity and climate change, and even went so far as to describe dairy farms as torture camps. So there you go.
So there you go, Lewis.
You listed it.
You've been called out.
What's your response?
Well, I think there's a lot of people who are quite happy to toe the line. Quite happy to side with the man. I think their meat episode is very much like, oh, don't get upset with us, but maybe you shouldn't eat meat. Ooh, right. Puts little finger to mouth. They're very kind of Kurzgesagt. They're doing a great job, honestly. I love their videos, but I also think they're very scared to upset anyone.
Yeah, they don't want to go full in, you mean. I'm not I've never seen any of these videos. I don't even know what you're talking about. I just want to put that out there.
They are good. They're so good. But, they have such excellent animations.
But I'm getting a sense that maybe they don't want to overextend themselves by making lumping in with no way back sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
I think Lewis's point is that, or perhaps his point is, and you do see this from quite a few content creators really, that they try to both sides a lot of stuff and sort of just be like, it's up to you. Of course, we don't have an opinion. We're just expressing facts here. Because the moment you actually come down on one side, the other side's going to rinse you. So it's profitable to just
facts, but oftentimes facts are presented not as facts. It's opinion. It happens,
and often the other way around too. I think in our world these days, disinformation is a massive problem, a real thing. And many opinions are facts. The idea of opinions as valuable as facts is something I have a huge problem with. And I think that, people say, well, you got to respect my opinion. It's like, well,
I hate that saying. He's entitled to his opinion. No, he's not. People are not entitled to an opinion. You have to form an opinion.
He is entitled to his opinion, but he should also recognize sometimes that maybe his opinion is not right.
We know we're idiots, right?
It's not correct sometimes. I think sometimes we'll have an opinion about something and we'll recognize that opinion maybe isn't.
It's dog shit.
Politically correct or...
Yeah, well, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Just completely non-factual. We will talk about something that we know very little about most of the time. And but I think we're honest about that. I don't think we're so confident in what we're saying all the time that it comes across as fact, which for other people, I think that happens way too much.
Yeah,
I think people get very entrenched and very committed to their opinions too, though, and get very angry defending them. I.e., defending false facts, and you can't argue with them. either. There's this long-standing idea that, it's not worth trying to convince someone. If you've got an elderly relative who is, who believes that something awful.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make something up. It's just not worth trying to come up with a presentation for them, or trying to figure out, even if you're fucking Bill Nye the Science Guy, or what's his face,
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, yeah,
space is so big you won't believe it, and then he tells you some fact. If you took a marble, he's like, "God, Neil, just get to the point." The pauses that my man puts between sentences are insane. Also, some of the stuff he reveals as being mind-blowing seems like stuff you would be telling kids in primary school. That's the level, I think, some of the stuff that he talks about.
It's not all that mind-blowing.
Yeah. It's just,
I think it was the first time I heard it.
People just go nuts for these guys.
Maybe it's mind-blowing for an 8-year-old.
Yeah. And
but, space is cool. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, please don't email in saying we hate space. We love space. All right, let's do
an
email.
Neil deGrasse Tyson particularly, but I do think he said some shit as well. Actually.
Oh yeah, I don't.
I've never even heard Neil deGrasse Tyson speak before.
I feel like he redid Cosmos or whatever. He did which is a big deal.
He's just a guy.
He's a big science educator.
Yeah,
and I think that a lot of these people
encouraging people to get into science is good.
Even the most primary two science commentators that I've suggested there.
The most primary.
The best ones are both problematic in some ways, I think. Anyway, it just goes to show that that's part of the problem, isn't it? Good luck, everyone out there. Fuck you.
Here's an email.
Best of luck.
He's left. He's gone. I work for Wetherspoons. You might have heard of them. Obviously, lots of people come through, and some of them leave behind their shopping lists. After finding one recently, I was reminded of your request for pictures to add to your collection of shopping lists. I agree. They're a fun, voyeuristic window into someone's life, and I always feel quite cheeky reading what someone else is out for and where they're going. So here is one I'm reading. It's Wilco is at the top of the list, and Wilco is then crossed out. I don't know why. And the list reads as follows: curtain hooks, dog treats, cushions, ?
Right.
Look at prices for electric sockets, Sainsbury. And then I think it says bitter lemon, fish, custard creams. Then it says Poundland, and then it says crisps. I love the fact that it's telling which shop to go to. You're writing a list of where you're going to go, not just a shopping list.
They might be trying to plot an efficient route,
Maybe.
If they look at their list and they see what shops they need to go to, then it helps them do a nice circuit, or
I guess. I will just say that the lad sending these in, the pictures of these, Jacob got these in a Wetherspoons.
Right.
So these people are making a list of where they're going to be.
They're Wetherspoons customers.
But then they're going to Wetherspoons as well. So they're stopping in for a few pints as well as going shopping.
On the shopping trip.
Well, you got to loosen up a little bit before you go do your errands sometimes,
Yeah,
I
sure.
get it. I get it.
This guy's buying a coffee mare. I don't know what that is. Sweet pots, mixed leaf, whole grain, raw king prawn, cherry, lollips capers, oatmeal.
Red
onion.
I don't do a lot of shopping unless my wife asks me to.
Right.
I'm not I'm not a good shopper. My wife gives me a list and I will just get what's on the list. I don't really think outside the box much. I do very occasionally, but predominantly if I'm out doing stuff, I want to be quick so I can get back. I don't want to be out.
So your wife is the one who is kind of deciding what's being cooked and eaten. So you're just an errand boy.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm just I'm just the logistics. I'll go out and get.
So
the
you're
stuff.
The one trying to decipher the list. Bitter lemon. What does she mean by that?
I don't know. Bitter lemon. Yeah,
she's fine. It's. I never have any problems deciphering the list, but I always feel a bit maybe I could be more involved or enthusiastic with it, but I just can't.
Well,
I can't do it.
I think being a good gatherer is probably all that's needed. If I have a shopping list, I write it down, someone brings back everything on that list, fucking brilliant. That is the perfect scenario. Do you know what I mean? I don't want them ad-libbing on the list. I don't want to get a call halfway through the list saying, it says no aubergines. Do you want to get courgettes instead?
Oh, see, that's one thing I don't do. No. If it's on the list, and I go to the store and it's not there, I'll check a couple of other stores within reason.
Oh, right.
You know, I'll go to a couple of other places just to see if I can find. Well,
that's more dedication than I expect. God, if it doesn't work out with your wife, Sibs, just saying, like, you know,
can you come and do my shopping for me? Sure, yeah. Why not? I can. I'll start a service.
Honestly, that's like the dream scenario. I don't think you realize that. You know, secretly, maybe this is one of your. You don't realize one of the things that makes you a catch. Maybe one of the reasons you're still together.
Maybe, yeah, possibly.
You actually go through and get everything on that list.
I try to.
I am terrible. I'm terrible.
It doesn't always happen, but I will make
to pick something up on the way home. I forget all the time, but fortunately, I live right in the center of town.
Yes,
so my partner can just go down and get it. If I
forget, and your partner goes and gets it.
Well, usually, yeah,
that's
or something like that.
I love shopping. I love shopping for food. I love shopping locally. I love going into London and shopping. I love it. It's really fun.
I think I'd probably enjoy shopping more if I lived in London or somewhere exciting. But where I live is not that exciting.
100% am like, do a bigger cardo order, fill up the fridge and the cupboard with like jars and pouches.
I like when the fridge and the cupboard is full though.
Oh yeah.
I do like that. I like seeing, oh yeah, look at all this stuff, you know, like it. But actually going out and thinking of stuff to get or whatever, like, I don't know.
Well, so my partner recently told a story to some of her friends, which they all laughed at me about. Okay.
Right.
And
laughed at you. I
didn't think it was laughable worthy, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a very Lewis story.
No, let's hear it.
This is how she would tell the story. So I offhandedly mentioned one time that I like this specific brand of cookies. Okay.
Right. Is it Maryland, the like chocolate chip ones? They come in like a little red packaged, like almost
kind of, yeah. She's like gluten-free, so it's hard to find stuff that she actually likes, right? Yeah. So she
less so now. You mean that she likes? But I think in terms of like availability of products, it's never been better. Like there's whole sections for gluten-free now.
Can I just make
tons of stuff?
Can I make a quick request? Please
go for it.
Never invite me to your flat for dinner. A gluten-free vegan dinner, I think I would just throw myself out of a window.
Honestly, I'll send you a picture of
I don't want a picture. I do not want it.
You'll be surprised.
Oh, I will not be surprised. I will be surprised if what you present on a plate is edible, because I can't imagine how few ingredients are available to you with all these restrictions. I mean, obviously, it's not your partner's fault.
It's not even that ridiculous. Like
you can eat most veg, right? Like
I could eat like all veg, all Thai food, all Chinese food, all Japanese food, basically. Apart from sushi with vegetables in, which is fine. I can eat tons and tons of things. And so we have a really varied diet that it just doesn't involve. It's like I can eat half the things you eat that just don't have meat in. It's fine.
You couldn't eat any of the stuff I eat.
Well, I guess I'm not Gordon Ramsay. So
you couldn't eat it because it's got animal products in.
It's fine. She's fine. We're both fine. We're very healthy. Healthiest we've ever been.
Here's a recipe for people out there that like sausages. Just hear me out. You could chuck a fucking tofu sausage or whatever you animals eat. You could toss in there if you wanted. This was the easiest midweek meal I think I've ever done, and it was fucking delicious. You get a broccoli, you get a broccoli, Perfect. You get a bag of gnocchi, you get sausages. Take the skins off the sausages, make the sausage meat into little meatballs, put the gnocchi, put the sausages, cut up the broccoli, put that in a pan like an oven dish, olive oil all over, salt and pepper all over, smoosh it around a bit, and garlic, loads of garlic, bosh it in the oven, 25 minutes later, take it out. Amazing. Fucking amazing.
We can both eat that.
The gnocchi goes like little potatoes. Like the
gnocchi is potato starch.
But it's light. When you just bake them, it literally just comes out like a tiny roast potato. And it's fucking incredible. I'd never done oven-baked gnocchi before. I hadn't heard them.
Gnocchi.
So we can eat that.
I love how you use gnocchi.
How do you say it?
Anyway.
I say it like that, gnocchi. I'm like a bit Russian.
Gnocchi. You put gnocchi, broccoli, and sausage in pan, cook in oven for 25 minutes, and take out this delicious midweek meal. Very simple for a whole family.
I would say gnocchi.
I would say gnocchi.
Gnocchi is my favorite thing to put in sausage, broccoli, put in pan. 25 minutes, my friend. Very simple. Very simple. Talking of food.
Thank God.
Talking of food.
No, hang on, I haven't finished yet. Let me finish this story.
We're trying to read emails. I've got 10 open on my desktop, and you're talking about dinner. Can we read some emails?
I haven't got. Can you give me like fucking 10 seconds to tell this story?
You've been yapping for 10 minutes. We're nearly 20 minutes into the podcast. I've read 2 emails.
What is this podcast? It's fine.
He's got a quota. He wants to hit his numbers for the month. Jeez, come on.
Long story short, I bought these biscuits. She couldn't find them, so I went and bought 48 packs of them because that's the only thing I could find from the manufacturer.
48 packs of cookies.
Yes,
gluten-free.
Yes.
Holy shit, man!
I thought I could, we'd get through them over time.
Well, listen.
I thought it was a romantic gesture, but it turns out it's just some sort of weird, embarrassing, large amount of cookies. Yeah.
Last year,
that's fine. They'll be all right.
Last year before Easter, we bought a box of 50 cream eggs. Let me tell you, it was a mistake, and I regret it because I kind of like cream eggs. I like them enough, but getting through 50 was too much. Like
even with a family of 5,
everybody was sick of them. But guess what we did this year?
Only like 6
we bought
each.
another box. I don't know why we did it.
A 50.
Why do we keep doing this to ourselves?
It's just
I got so many cream eggs now.
You're an alley cat. Why do you keep doing this? Hold on. Hold on, Septi.
I am an alley cat. I can't help it. I'm crazy. I love cream eggs. I just love the cream.
I don't know.
This is an email that says March 23rd marks the 9th birthday of the podcast.
Wow.
Okay.
In episode 1, in episode 1, I had just 5,000 hours in Dota. Could we please get an update 9 years on? Yeah. 13,000 hours now. So
wow.
Oh, that's a lot of Dota.
It's a lot of Dota.
That's too much. Too much Dota.
So we started this podcast. Basically,
you should stop.
I should stop.
You should stop.
Are you still
mind your business?
Do you still actively play it, or not so much now?
Oh yeah, I mean, not for the last couple of weeks. I'm going away later this year to do some Dota stuff, and I thought, do I want to just play Dota and then have to spend basically a month working Dota and then come back and play Dota? I just wanted a little bit of a break.
Sure.
So I've been playing Football Manager instead.
Nice.
So yeah. Here's another email. This is from Giles. It could be, but it's 2 L's.
Gilles.
And he's Belgian. Could be Gilles.
It's Gilles.
First time writing in, just to tell you, I cringed so hard when you mentioned you cook mussels in a little bit of water. I kind of get it if you're making paella, but as a Belgian, I feel the need to correct you here. All right, go on then, Gil. It might surprise you to hear that Belgium is the single country that consumes the most mussels in the world. That doesn't surprise me. Even though most of them come from the Netherlands, the Dutchies don't nearly have as big of a mussel eating culture as we do. What you should do with fresh mussels is wash them, just to get rid of anything that is not a mussel. You should keep them in the water for a while, and you should observe all of them closing up. Indeed, the tapping works, but is time-consuming. As an added bonus, all of the mussels are filled with the most delicious mussel juice. At this point, add them to a pan with some onions and whatever veggies you like. Do not add any water. In Belgium, we like to eat them with some onions, celery, those kind of vegetables, and some herbs. This results in tasty mussels with a creamy sort of mussel soup that is very flavorful. If you're making a paella, I guess you could add no veggies. The mussels will release all the water that they're holding inside and steam themselves.
Stop telling us about mussels.
They'll be screaming while they do it as well. They'll be all boiled up and stuff. It's awful. Do you think they have feelings?
Well, no. Giles.
Thank you, Gilles.
Yeah, it says, try soaking the mussels and have them release their own moisture. I'll give it a go. Thank you. There's also a follow-up, mussel denigration. This is from Ralph. A recent Triforce was very uncomplimentary about the intelligence of mussels. And as a mollusk-focused marine biology student and vegan, I am perfectly positioned to be offended by this.
Take it up with Kurzgesagt.
I'll save you their 6,000-word rant.
Email their podcast.
On the subtle wit and charm of mussels, but it's a losing battle. Just be aware that mussel denigration is a slippery slope to writing off all shellfish as soulless meat chunks. You're just small taxonomic leap to writing off their cousins, scallops. Do you want to hear about scallops?
No, but
they should be respected and envied because, and there is some scallop facts for you,
right?
They possess 200 telescope-like eyes with 9 times better resolution than the piddly eyes of a snail. They can recognize and tell the difference between different predators. They can track objects with their tentacles. They frequently solve the Times crossword with barely any wrong. And they identify and swim towards the safety of seagrass patches.
Okay, thank you. Very good. Saying they have 100 eyes with better eyesight than a snail
9 times
is not
better.
particularly a fucking
it's pretty cool,
mind-blowing fact. Jesus Christ. All right, let's move on.
All right. This is from Luke. I thought you might find this interesting. Throughout the podcast, you've had many lengthy conversations about famous or infamous people. I do not know if it is because I'm from the States or because I'm about 20 years younger than all of you, but of all the names below are people that I feel like I now know. I've never seen their faces, seen their work, or heard a single person other than you guys utter their name.
Right.
So these are names of people that apparently we mention quite often on the podcast.
That a young American has never heard of.
Never heard of.
Right.
Some of these might surprise you. Liz Hurley.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Right. I think that's insane. I mean, she's been in movies that were very big in America. But
yeah,
maybe
20
years ago, I suppose. Yeah. But I mean, 20 years ago, I mean, she was in the Austin Powers movies. I mean, people still probably watch those.
So I think they came out in the 90s.
Right.
So the previous century. And if you were 21 now, you
I guess, yeah. If
lived.
you're 21 now, so if you were born in like the early 2000s, you might have missed Liz Hurley, I guess.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it. But now
it seems crazy to me, but it's I do
keep an eye out.
I do get it.
Keep an eye out.
I'm trying to think of stuff that was popular like 10, 20 years before we were born. Like before I was born in 1980. So all of the 60s and the 70s. I mean, yeah. I probably listened to quite a bit of music from both of those decades, and I probably saw a lot of movies from both of those decades as well. Certainly a lot of TV shows from both of those, because they were just in massive syndication all the time on TV when I was a kid. You know, like The Addams Family, The Munsters, right. Gilligan's Island, all that shit. Like my parents used to watch because they remember it from, you know, being younger or whatever. So it's not. I still maintain. I think you should probably. I think it is
a generational thing, though, to some extent. And we, in the same way that, like, I don't know, big movie stars of the 50s or whatever. I think the black and white transition was a big one. I think a lot of people see that as like a different time. Like, you know, these are in black and white. And I think a lot of people of our generation have never heard of the big actors of that time.
Maybe,
right?
Yeah.
God, you know, John Wayne, I guess, James Stewart. Like, I think a lot of people might never have seen a James Stewart movie.
Yeah.
You know, and he's the most famous, probably, of like 50s.
I guess. I don't know, really, who would count as the most famous.
Like Charlton Heston, Marlon Brando.
No, I don't think Charlton Heston was ever, in all honesty, I don't think Charlton Heston has ever been considered like a megastar actor.
No.
Clark Gable, Grace Kelly.
So here are some,
Marlon Brando, I would say, would have
actors.
a lot more broader, you know, appeal, and people would know him because he was in kind of big movies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He's always been
I think he was younger in the 50s, and he was bigger, and he was still like, whereas I think some of the characters, like, I don't know, like Clark Gable's a good example. He's someone who was a huge star in the war, during the wartime, right? And Gone with the Wind.
Although that was made before the war.
Oh.
Gone with the Wind was made actually 1939, so America wasn't in the war at that point. And it came out in 1939, which means it was probably made in 1938. Anyway, here are the other names. Tom Sizemore, which is fair enough because his career basically ended.
Yeah, it ended in some controversy as well, and then he died of he had a brain hemorrhage.
Oh, did he die?
Did he? Brain hemorrhage. Yeah, he's gone. Long gone.
Tom Sizemore was an American actor, died 2 years ago, March 3rd, 2023.
Yeah.
Not that long.
Let's see what he died of. Brain aneurysm. Yeah, didn't make it. 61. He did a lot of drugs, and I believe he did some pornos.
He did some pornos, yeah. But he was kind of, I guess, probably again in the 90s. He was sort of the sidekick guy. He was a character. He was in Saving Private Ryan, and he was always he always played like a good sidekick in those movies.
He was like the sergeant in anything. Yeah, like he would be the guy who was like, "Come on, you guys, shake your ass."
Never questioned orders, sort of thing.
He was in so many things.
Yeah, he was in lots.
He was like, he was a real worker.
Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff.
He was in fucking Zizzix Road, which I saw yesterday. God! I didn't see. I was reading about yesterday. So Zizzix Road is. Do you heard of this? It's the film that gained notoriety for only selling $30 in its opening run.
Oh my god!
It had a budget of 1.2 million, and Zizzix ZYX. It was famously the worst.
It sounds like a bad guy
film in the entire movie history.
General Zizzix.
Box office is $30. That's two people.
Katherine Heigl. I know, basically. Yeah. It's nonsense. But yeah, it had Tom Sizemore. I guess he that's funny that I recognized that movie.
So there's a reason it has that.
Well, it was only February 25th. It was only shown at one cinema.
Yeah, so it was shown once a day at noon at the Highland Park Village Theater in Dallas, Texas, in one auditorium rented by the producers for $1,000. The limited release was deliberate. Grillo, one of the guys, was uninterested in releasing the film domestically until it underwent foreign distribution, but the film needed to fulfill the US release obligation required by SAG for low-budget films. Those with budgets less than $2.5 million that are not for direct-to-video market. Strategy had the side effect of making it, at the time, the lowest-grossing film in history, as it earned just $30 at the box office from 6 people paying $5 each.
Jesus. That's
its
amazing.
Opening weekend netted $20.
Oh man!
I see. Because they personally refunded 2 tickets purchased by Sheila Moore, the film's makeup artist, who saw the film with a friend.
That's fantastic. The similarly named film Zizzix has mistakenly been cited as the lowest growing due to the film's similar titles. What is a Zizzix anyway?
I don't know.
I'm going to do.
You'd have to ask a professor of Zizzix.
It's a town in California. There you go.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, a professor of Zizzix. That's very good. I missed that.
Thanks.
So, in addition, Greg Wallace, Alan Sugar.
Okay, Greg. I get. Greg Wallace and Alan Sugar are very UK centric. They probably don't have.
I think you ask English people who Larry King is
outside of the UK,
or like
Regis,
certain other. Yeah, exactly.
Prince Andrew.
Well, fair enough. I mean,
fair enough.
Who cares about that guy?
Here's one. So brackets, not sure if this is a real person. Jean G. Tupperware.
Jean-Guy Tupperware.
Jean-Guy Tupperware.
Jean-Guy Tupperware is he's my go-to guy in Quebec. He does all the Canadian stuff. He could be prime minister, or he could be my maple syrup dealer, or whatever. He doesn't exist. Well, he does exist in my mind, but he's my. I think that's maybe an Ontario thing as well, because when I was growing up, that was like if somebody was describing somebody from Quebec or whatever, if they were mad about something or whatever, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I guess Jean-Guy Tupperware is going to tell me what to do or whatever." Like it's
oh, that's so good.
It's pretty funny, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Larry David. I'm surprised Larry David isn't a known guy. Fraser Crane.
Larry? He doesn't know who Larry David is?
No. Harvey Weinstein. And then these are obvious. Jimmy Savile. Fucking hell.
Well, okay, I guess.
Kim and Aggie, Nigel Farage,
Jimmy
and Ian
Savile
Livingston.
is the UK Bill Cosby, I guess.
Yeah, basically.
Who is it? Nigel Farage? Well, fuck. I mean, you don't need to know who Nigel Farage is. I wish none of us knew who he was either. He's a fucking idiot.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. The UK ones is fair enough. They those people don't. They don't track. Like, we're happy
to educate you, and and let these wonderful, colourful characters.
What's the equivalent of Nigel Farage in US politics? Because he's kind of like he's like he's very much like a third party, but he's like a bit of a.
Just any of those people you see that have podcasts.
Yeah, I guess so.
Those guys.
Yeah.
So this is from Lachlan. This is an Aussie email. He says, read in an Aussie accent, please. So, all right, here we go. Cutting to the point, when I was 19 years old, I'm now 35, I worked for Video Easy, which is Australia's version of Blockbuster. I worked in an area of Newcastle which had high volumes of state housing or affordable housing. Therefore, we had the spectrum of customers, and I thought I'd share some bizarre and funny stories. So, this guy worked in Aussie Blockbuster. His three tales
was the branding similar? What was the name of the place?
We can't ask them questions. It's a mailbag.
I want to look at what was the name. What was it called? Easy View or something?
So I've looked it up. It's Video Easy. The branding is completely different.
Video Easy.
Okay. Easy Y. Like Video Easy Y. Easy.
Right.
Video Easy.
The choice is easy. Video Easy. There it is.
Yeah, it is completely different. Okay, cool.
A regular Russian man would usually come in with family, wife, and teenage boys. One day, he returned a DVD and called me over as he exclaimed loudly, I need to talk to you about this show. I must speak. I walk over. He hands over a DVD, Dante's Cove, which I know to be an R-rated, basically gay porn TV show. And there is an image of two lads hugging in a very sexy way on the front cover of the DVD. The customer then says, this show, very good. Very good. I like the rough sex. And then slaps his hand on the counter, nods, and leaves. This was at 8 a.m. in the morning. I love the rough sex. This show, very good. Very good show.
Slams his fist on the counter.
And he goes,
just slaps it right down.
I
am impressed, yes.
Listen to me. Great show. Keep it up.
Great. Love it. Love the gay sex.
Love it.
Oh man, that is funny.
That's great.
God
Maybe it is good. Maybe it's good.
He's like, I like the rough sex. I love the idea that this guy's so confident in who he is.
Yeah.
He can watch a gay porno and be like, this is very good.
Yeah.
I am enjoying this very much.
I'd love to see if you showed him something like not rough. No.
He must grab the other man and really, like he means it. Come on. Rough him up a little bit. No, this is no good. Dante's Cove 2, completely missed point of Dante's Cove 1. The whole point is rough sex. Rough. Like two dogs fighting in a bag.
I'm going back to one. I'm going back to the first one.
Give me one again. I watch.
That is great. What a great story. I love that.
I don't think this is actually a gay porno. I think it's an actual TV show.
Well, yeah, but it's like it's gay as hell. I mean, looking at the cover,
I think it is gay as hell. It's really gay. But
Dante's Cove. His cove, you say?
I see.
I want to see Dante's Cove.
I want to see.
No.
Bend over. Show me your cove. Show me your gaping cove, Dante. I want to see gaping cove.
I want to get to the bottom. Right. Is it deep?
Jesus Right.
Right. Okay. So this is another guy.
Funny. Jesus Christ.
Thief steals ice cream in crotch. One day, I was restocking the popcorn, drinks, and candy, etc., when I noticed a customer had been lingering in front of the ice cream fridge for about 5 minutes, which we knew was a blind spot in our cameras. And then this man began to crinkle. I realized he was stuffing cornettos down his crotch. Instead of confronting him, I just began to stack boxes of products around him and proceeded to chat with him. He was very short and then explained he needed to leave. However, I was overly polite and kept leading the conversation. Basically, I kept casually talking to him for another 5 minutes or so in the hope that either his cock would freeze or the cornettos would melt.
That is hilarious.
And the list
like
of things,
bizarre
if you work somewhere and you saw someone shoplift and they ran out of the store, would you chase after them? Like, would you?
Fuck no.
No, me too. I would never fucking do it. I would just pretend like I just didn't see them. I just would not get involved.
I mean, I'm not going to fucking get stabbed for stopping some guy nicking a bag of crisps. Who gives a shit? I mean, it's not my money.
Yeah.
If it was my shop and that was, my stuff, I'd probably be a lot more pissed off.
I'll help him. The cops will come along and say, which way did he go? And I'll go, that way. I'll point the wrong way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good on you, cornetto thief. Get out there.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Easy Video.
Stick it to the man. Anyway.
And then list of things that have been returned in DVD cases. A turd, used dirty panties, 3 small cockroaches living, a used tampon, a $5 note, a phone number, the complete wrong DVD.
Fucking hell.
Possibly cooking oil and butter smeared inside, and a used or staged used condom. We did not test.
No.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
You didn't you didn't slurp a bit out just to test to see.
I think that does sound like pranks, doesn't it?
What a waste of perfectly good cum, probably.
Opening those DVD cases must have been like just opening a mystery box of gruesomeness.
God, just imagine.
Oh my God.
So this is...
I used to work at Blockbuster, but back in my day, I worked at Blockbuster before DVDs were even out, so we were still, Be Kind Rewind, which is pretty good, but there you go.
This Mother's Day is coming up, and the number one thing your mum wants is probably a phone call, so definitely give her a ring. But also, you could check out the digital photo frames from Aura. I have given one to my mother, and every time I go away or take any pictures, I upload them to her frame, and I almost inevitably get a little text back saying, "Oh, enjoyed seeing you doing that thing you were doing." It's really nice. I recommend. I've got my family have one in their living room. It's really cute, and they have figured out how to use it very capably. It's very easy to download the app and get it working, and they've been uploading other pictures to it, which is really nice. I've actually got one in my flat now as well, and so they can upload pictures to me. It's just great.
Why don't you scan all of your childhood pictures from the 80s and then upload them to your mom's Aura frame so that she can remember just what a precious little cherub you once were as well?
Oh my goodness, that's a really good idea.
Thanks.
So my mum has one, my dad has one, and Mrs. F's parents have one. We've spread the Aura frame seed all over the place.
We do too. Every house we know has one in it.
Yeah, everyone we know, we're giving them an Aura, and when we go on holiday or something, pictures of the kids, bam, straight on the grandparents' Auras.
Nice.
I love Aura frames. I love them.
Well, there you go. And for a limited time, you can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on the Carver matte frame. That's auraframes.com with promo code Triforce. Thank you very much.
A few decades ago, private citizens used to be largely that. Private. What's changed? The internet. Think about everything you browsed, searched for, watched, or tweeted. Now imagine all that data being crawled, collected, and aggregated by data brokers into a permanent public record.
Boom.
Your record.
Gasp.
Having your private life exposed for others to see was once something only celebrities worried about.
Boom.
But in an era where everyone is online, everyone is a public figure. To keep my data private when I go online, I turn to ExpressVPN.
It's one of the easiest ways for data brokers to track you is to your device's unique IP address or IP address, which also reveals information about your location. With ExpressVPN, your IP address is hidden. That makes it much more difficult for data brokers to monitor, track, and monetize your private online activity via your IP.
Yeah, absolutely. ExpressVPN also encrypts 100% of your network traffic to keep your data safe. It works on all devices. I use it on my computer. I recently couldn't access a video, and I changed country until I could. I recommend you try it out and protect your online privacy today by visiting expressvpn.com/Triforce. That's expressvpn.com/Triforce. You can get an extra 4 months free.
Wow.
Nice.
expressvpn.com
That's good.
/Triforce. On with the show.
On with the show.
To the motherfucker with off-brand Sips and Lewis stickers on the back of their white 2007 Toyota Camry, I am certain you listen to this podcast. I'm calling you the fuck out for sideswiping me in Cleveland, Ohio, and speeding off.
Wow.
There you
Somebody's
go.
got
What
a
the
bumper
hell?
sticker of me and Lewis?
Yeah, apparently.
Off-brand.
That's hilarious. Is
It can't
he
have
a
been
real
us.
menace on the roads, do you think?
Apparently. He sideswiped this lad in Cleveland.
Cleveland, Ohio, of all
Yeah,
places.
2007.
Why would he just have me and you, though? What kind of merch have we got?
He
it's
doesn't
even-
like me.
Yeah,
What do we do together, Tips? Like maybe it's just people that look like us.
maybe, yeah.
Who looks like us? Is there like a kind of like radio shock jock duo or something?
Well, I
in
look a lot
America?
like
I'm just
Harrison
trying to think,
Ford, and
like-
I would say that you probably look a little bit
Right.
like Jeff Goldblum.
Right. Well, they
when he was turned into the Fly is what I was gonna.
The ultimate team up. Jeff Goldblum as the Fly.
I'm joking.
And
Brundlefly. He's
literally
Brundle
90-year-old Harrison Ford.
No.
Sure.
No, I'm talking Harrison Ford from like the first Star Wars.
Young Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
No. Not 103-year-old.
Not the fucking geriatric one. Oh, who wants to look like a geriatric, Lewis? Come on, man. Jeez.
Well, I haven't seen you for a while. You know,
well, that's true. Yeah, I've aged a lot.
Time might not have been kind. Those
Turbo
3 kids,
aged.
you know.
I saw you in November. What are you talking about? Fucking hell.
Well, you know, you get ground down by being a dad.
True,
you know, it ages you fast.
I wasn't wearing shorts at the time, but now I'm like full shorts. It's warm enough, so I've aged a little bit.
It's
Yeah.
nice.
Oh yeah. Oh, get this right. My eldest came to me the other day and wanting to raise money for our trip to Japan.
Right.
To be able to buy shit over there.
Mm-hmm.
They've been going through various things in the house that they think they might be able to sell.
How small is she? Would she fit in like a tunnel system, like a small tunnel system or a crawl space?
Who?
Your daughter. It's like got some work for her if she wants some money. if she'll fit.
Right.
No.
I see. Like a
your kids are definitely smaller.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
my kids
smaller.
are, but I've
We got
tried.
some electrical wiring.
I don't want to put my own kids in there. They might get hurt.
Does your daughter think she can fit in my wall?
Got a dusty
We
spider
got some
filled
exorcisms
crawl
that need to be
space.
done in there. I think there's some phantoms living in my walls. No, anyway,
man.
sorry.
Hell.
So she's trying to. That's sweet. Actually, she's
Yeah.
trying to raise money for your trip to Japan. Okay, so
Yeah, but no, so that she can buy crap over. in
right,
Japan.
yeah, fair
Oh,
enough. There's a lot of
God.
crap to buy over there. It turns out.
Oh
so.
yeah. My old PS4, which I hadn't used in since Red Dead Redemption 2 came out.
Yeah.
That was the last time I used it.
Yeah. Same.
And I never fire it up. I just literally, it's just sitting
Sit
there
there
gathering
collecting
dust.
dust. Yeah.
Yeah. So we took that. So imagine
To cash
we
converters.
went to CEX, not cash converters. CEX.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah.
Which is
yeah.
the nerds version of cash converters. So I want you to try and guess how much I got for a PS4
Yeah.
with a power lead, one controller,
Yeah.
and an HDMI cable.
30 quid.
Lewis?
I'd say 60.
It was £77.
Wow. Okay, that's more
I
than I
was
thought it would be.
actually
They're selling
surprised.
that for 200. It's fucking stupid.
It's mad, right?
Yeah.
Who's buying a PS4 now for that much money? I was just shocked because if they're buying it for 70, I wouldn't pay 77 for a new PS4.
Nah.
This is a years old, dusty as hell PS4 that we just cleaned up a bit, and they were like 77 quid. That's what it says in the book. How the fuck is CX making money on that? Blew my mind. Anyway.
I think there's a cycle though, isn't there? Like, I think if certain things don't drop below a certain value over time, right? Like you could still buy Super Nintendos and Nintendo 64s and stuff for, like they're almost a little bit valuable.
Well, those are now, they're older, but
games.
PS4 is like, the previous gen consoles are always worth like nothing. They'll be worth more in years to come, but it's never worth it. You're talking like 20, 30 years. I mean, and for it to be worth like 150 instead of 77, like who cares?
I mean, like the ones that were like with the games were on cartridges or discs, right?
Yeah,
and were completely not internet connected and didn't require any of this online authentication or any of this stuff are, I guess, on the, they're like a pinball machine, right? They're kind of, as long as they keep going great.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the PS4 will turn into a brick eventually once some sort of service shuts down for it, and it just doesn't function.
I think they're
anymore.
they're still fairly used though, right? Like I don't think everybody who had a PS4 now has a PS5. Like I think some people still use a PS4, but there'll come a time where they will just have to.
Is PlayStation the one which is fully backwards compatible? Like
yes.
You can run every older PlayStation game.
I don't know
on
if
every
about
newer
fully, but it's generally fairly backwards compatible. Yeah, like you can play your PlayStation 4 games on PlayStation 5, for example.
But do they even have, does PlayStation 5 even have like a fucking CD tray or anything?
Yeah, you can get them. Anymore. Yeah, you can get them with or without.
I just assumed that they'd phased that out. You know, along with like everything else. Like I assumed like you go and buy a new phone and the only connector it has is like the charger connector, right? And the same thing with like laptops and everything. Like it's fucking nothing has any kind of way to. Yeah, everything has to be wireless or Bluetooth now.
Yeah. No, I mean you can still get
whatever.
PlayStations with a disc drive.
For some reason, I don't have a PlayStation 5, or I just assume the next one will be.
You'll probably get one soon, I guess, for GTA 6, right? Everybody's
a white rectangle with absolutely nothing. It'll be like a colorless white rectangle, and you'll have to like touch a bit of it and it'll say boop boop, and then it'll appear on your fucking phone. It'll be like you scan this QR code with your phone and it will connect to your Wi-Fi, and it will all be like, oh, that's where it's going, right? I think that's where the suits want it to go as well. They want it to be as futuristic as possible.
Hey, listen, speaking of futuristic, I watched The Apprentice last night, and it was the shopping network task, where they have to sell live on TV.
Nope.
And anyway, so they had to sell live on like QV, whatever it's called. Is it QVC?
Sure.
Yeah. And one of the teams picked a coffee maker that you can link up to your Alexa. And so they're like, Alexa, make me a coffee. Didn't work like 4 times. Like it finally worked. It was really good. It was great.
I have an email from a listener here. Says, I am writing to you because I started watching The Apprentice this week and realized that I actually worked 2 shifts for Keir from the newest series.
He's gone.
A couple of years ago.
He's
fired. Already gone from the show.
Yeah.
Well, good.
He got fired,
he runs a telemarketing company based in Leeds called Parallel Partnerships that targets mainly old people and pressures them into booking a solar panel salesman to come and give them a quote and hard sell them on brand new solar panels.
All right.
So this lad basically turned up, and it was like miserable. People telling him to fuck off, slamming the phone down. And it was just like an absolute obvious bullshit scam. And the lad quit.
Wow.
So, yeah, there you go.
And he was on The Apprentice.
Was apparently,
yeah.
And Keir apparently was, he was expecting to be a bit of an arsehole on telly, but he doesn't seem a bad guy. But his business made money confusing and tricking elderly people.
No.
So, yeah, I'm glad Keir's gone.
A typical scumbag. Yeah.
Oh, okay, and a very quick correction from Yuri. Thought I'd drop a line to correct a mistake you guys made repeatedly on the show. Geordie LaForge did indeed fall in love on the holodeck, but it was with a hologram version of the woman who designed the Enterprise's engines, not Deanna Troi.
There was one with Deanna Troi, though.
That was Barclay.
That was Barclay, indeed. Oh. He creates it as an interface to help him fix the engines and tells the computer to use all the information it has available to create an accurate representation. He falls in love with her.
Right.
The person you guys are thinking of is Barclay, played by Dwight Scholes of A-Team fame, who simulates various people on the holodeck, including Deanna Troi, who he impresses by beating a buffoonish Hollow Riker in a sword duel.
Right.
So yes,
it's basically a very prescient and scary idea of having like AI porn of your of someone that you know, and it's kind of like some of these things are actually quite they can't be too explicit with it on Star Trek.
I mean, this was on in like 1990.
But certainly it's implied that there's certainly an idea there behind the bubbling away that this could be very creepy and dystopian, very Black Mirror.
I mean, I'm not kidding. As the lad says in the tail end of the email, if I had access to a holodeck and it was as realistic as the one on TNG is portrayed, I'd be fucking all kinds of people. Why wouldn't you?
Well, but then what? But again, like, what happens when people find out about your holodeck history?
Yeah, I'd kill myself.
What if they walked in and you were just constantly fucking yourself? Like,
oh my god,
that'd be weird.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'd have sex with Liz Hurley, prime era Liz Hurley. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a virtual Liz Hurley.
Well, most people would walk in and not even know who she was, so it's fine.
Is that Greg Morris? They'd say. All right, this is from Ryan, who has anosmia, which we spoke about on a previous episode.
Yeah.
Which is the Gordon Ramsay bingo one. Anosmia, and if anyone doesn't know, is that you can't smell things.
Right.
So why do I have it? There are a few potential reasons why I have it, but it ultimately comes down to me suffering a head injury when I was a toddler or a baby. I wasn't abused. Toddlers sometimes just hit the head on things.
Yeah.
It was only until I was in late high school that I fully realized I couldn't smell. And when I went to university, I finally got it checked out. For the most part, life is normal for me. It's sadly not like a superpower, sorry, Lewis, but more like a part of the world that is closed off, like how blindness closes the visible parts of the world down for blind people.
Yeah.
Some downsides. I don't know if I smell, so I shower every few days just in case. I don't know if food has gone off, so I'm extra cautious around that.
You can't smell if somebody's been smoking weed in your neighborhood.
Right. I would throw whatever was left away the day after the use-by date. It's wasteful, but it's safer than drinking off milk, which he's done plenty of times. Very cautious with smell. So if someone's coming over, lights a bunch of scented candles, even though apparently the place doesn't smell, Ryan doesn't know. What do things taste like? It's limited, but I do have some taste. I can tell if something is sweet, spicy, salty, sour, or umami, but beyond that, I'm clueless. Lemons and limes taste exactly the same to me. I didn't realize there were other flavors to Nando's spicy dip till a friend told me that there were. I just thought it was spicy. Doesn't smell bad smells, but sometimes wants to smell bad smells, and that in fact not being able to is itself a hindrance. Thank you,
So
Ryan.
you've never smelled a fart before?
Apparently not.
Jeez, lucky. Well, maybe not actually.
So you're saying it's not a superpower, but you've never smelled a fart. I don't know. I think it depends where you live, right? If you live in the fucking city center, then oh my god, having like the fucking not being able to smell all the I don't know, like
the
some
poor
cities
people.
really stink.
Is that what you're going to say?
Oh my god, Lewis, you can't say that.
God, no. I was going to say that the drains.
Oh, the drains.
Yes, there's drains. I walk around with a
code
posy under my
for
nose.
poor people receiving benefits.
I wish we would flush them all.
Flush the drains.
Flush the turds away. You know what I mean.
Get the hose.
Get the hose. This is from Alex. Recently saw a video on Reddit where a guy claims he wouldn't sell his dog for £100,000. Is it not ridiculous to take this offer no matter how much of a family member a dog is? Or am I out of touch? Would Sips sell Terry? And if so, what is his lowest price?
I would not sell Terry, no.
For $100,000? Someone says, I'll give you $100,000 for that tortoise. You would not sell it.
It's a tough one because, I mean, on the one hand, yeah, I would love to have $100,000, but on the other hand, everybody in my house would be so sad, you know?
Need more things. Okay, we can't do this with this kind of information. Where is it going? Who's buying it? What are they going to do to it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We need more.
I mean,
info, right?
I would sell him for $100,000
if they're going to put it in a blender right in front of you, that's
live with other tortoises, right?
In
a tortoise sanctuary and be taken good care of, and I could go visit him and stuff. Yeah, I would definitely sell him. He's annoying,
right?
But
there's definitely there's qualifiers to this thing, and also people on the one hand love animals and love their pets and are perfectly happy to, and will do anything for them, by the way. And all the more so now. And I totally understand it, right? People get attached to cuddly toys.
Yeah, true.
They wouldn't sell their favorite cuddly toy for $100,000, let alone
pillows.
A living being.
Yeah. They make love to them.
And I think it's also the same. What informs this question is the same thing that it says, what would you do for a family member versus what would you do for a stranger, right?
Yeah.
Like, would you die for a family member? I think a lot of people would say yes. Would you die for a stranger? A lot of people would say no, right?
No.
I think but you don't know them. Maybe if you got to know them, suddenly you would die for them. I think these are very difficult moral quandaries to put people in. And so I think it's tough, right? It's certainly in different ages, people really treated pets a lot worse than they do now. And I think even today in some cultures, pets are not treated as well as they are in the West.
Flax, would you sell your dog for $100,000?
No, I don't think I could actually.
Keeping birds or like when I went to Spain and people were keeping their dogs in cages outside, I'm sure they'll be happy to sell those for $100,000. Do you know what I mean?
Look, I think if we did, whilst I would love to have $100,000. I just feel like ultimately you would feel incredibly guilty.
Yeah.
And it would feel like you have been lying to yourself about your relationship with your pet, because we all love Aggie. We really do love her. Mrs. F especially, first dog she's ever had, absolutely adores her. And if I was like, I sold her for $100,000. Is that money really going to be giving you that much joy compared to what my dog does? I don't think so. I think it's sort of commodifying an animal that loves you, and I think that's wrong.
Yeah, it's a bit that time Woody Harrelson accepted the indecent proposal. Ask him how he felt. Probably not great.
Yeah, probably not great.
He probably felt pretty good when they were like showering money over each other on the bed and stuff.
Yeah.
But then when it came to it, the indecent part
feels bad.
He probably felt like shit.
I will just say, you can have my cat. In fact, I will pay you to take my cat. This cat is the worst cat ever.
Is it like that one, the mischief one?
Oh no, sadly not. If only. That's actually an interesting cat.
That cat fucking doesn't seems to not be at home either. It goes out to other places. So maybe not such a bad cat.
Well,
shit. Well, maybe that cat's got a bad home life.
Maybe.
No.
That's why it's out.
No, apparently not.
Maybe it's running
just
away.
A wanderer. Well, look, our cat barely ever leaves the house, certainly never leaves the back garden, won't let you pet her, doesn't sit on anyone's lap, doesn't do anything, like not even amusing in any way, shape, or form. I feed her every day, and I go to pet her, and she just goes, "Oh, no, don't touch me." She doesn't let anyone pet her, ever. She's not violent. You can pick her up.
Does she play with a ball of yarn?
She'll play with something for like 10 seconds, and then she just wanders off. The people I bought her for, their house stank of weed so badly that I assume the cat is literally brain damaged. I'm genuinely
or
believe
just
that.
Traumatized in some way. Like,
she's not traumatized.
Well, no, but it could be that the people were not gentle with her previously, or that she doesn't like it. If she doesn't need it, then why should she? I think we're going to get a lot of people writing in about cat psychology here, by the way. And I just want to preempt it by saying, don't write in to Pyrian about how thoughts on why his cat's like this, how he can change it, how he can fix it. Just
people
don't.
love cats.
How long have you had the cat?
People love cats.
Good couple of years now.
And it sounds like it was a rescue, or at least an inherited cat.
No, it wasn't a rescue. We bought her from this is a couple that were relatively
near us. A house
near
that
us.
stinks of weed.
Yeah, they were a Polish couple who had 2 cats and had a shitload of kittens and sold them on a cat selling website. And I popped over and bought one because our cat had recently died, so the kids wanted a new cat, so I went and bought a cat. I thought it was, cat's a cat, but this one is just shit. It's like having a very large pest.
So this cat you will sell for $100,000 in a heartbeat.
That doesn't mean he doesn't love the cat.
I will give you £100 to take the cat. Oh, I don't dislike her.
What's the cat called?
Bonnie.
Okay.
My relationship with the cat is zero. Like, I don't even bother acknowledging her. What's the point?
Right. Well, that's pretty standard. That's what a cat is usually.
I feel like that is like I feel like that is the relationship that most people have with a cat.
No, I think that's absolutely not true. You guys don't have cats, do you?
No.
You've never had a cat.
I had a cat when I was small.
Right. Well, that is not how most people's relationship with their cats is.
Right.
Well, you got a bad one. That's all.
Yeah.
My relationship with my cat was one day my cat was there, and the next day he went to live on a farm.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That's what happens.
Do you know what? I've changed my mind.
What?
All of you cat people out there, write in and tell P-Flex what he's doing wrong. I've changed my mind. Go on. Go for it.
This is
because you clearly want to say something about it, so just get it off your chest.
This is an email for you.
Lewis doesn't know anything about cats.
Just told my wife about Lewis and his bug infestation in his plants.
Yeah,
right? This is a solution. Have a fan blowing at your plants so the fungus gnats can't land to lay their eggs.
What the fuck are you talking about?
That's the plan, Lewis. Just try it.
I got plants all over the place. What, you want me to put all my plants together in one place and put a fan on them all day?
Lewis has Lego plants as well. He has real plants and Lego plants.
I've got the thing is, before my partner moved in, I obviously had some sort of problem before, and so I'd gotten rid of all my dead, awful, useless houseplants. Things I'd go on holiday for 2 weeks, and no one would come in and water them. They'd all fucking die. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't particularly careful. So I replaced all my plants with Lego plants, but now my partner's brought in all of hers, and the place is full. But we have actually got a solution to it. We've got these little yellow stickers that I've put in each plant, which is like little fly traps.
No fungus gnats. Is that what it says on the sticker?
No, they're just anti-fly traps.
Oh.
And they basically they kill the adults, and then there's these like little bacteria tablets you can put in the water that you wash them,
right?
Feed them water.
Yep.
What that you water them with, the water that you water them with. And
it kills
I've been pouring that in. It kills the eggs, and apparently those two. If you kill the adults and the eggs, it breaks the life cycle. And
I mean, that sounds right.
Wow. So your apartment is basically a murder factory. Well done.
Touch wood, yeah, like they won't keep going. They won't come back.
Well, if I may, Lewis, that sounds like you're murdering living things. We have an email from Tom.
I've been out of control murdering these things. I've killed, I think, 1,000 of them in the last week.
Titled Lewis Brindley, the hypocritical vegan. I'm writing to express my general frustration with one Lewis Brindley, professional yapper. Often, Lewis uses the platform of the podcast to wax lyrical about his veganism, framing himself as an environmentalist and telling us about going to hippie events
trying my best.
And pushing crystals into the ground and possibly up his bum. Ordinarily, I wouldn't have a problem with this. Veganism is probably a morally righteous position. I just can't be bothered to change my diet in any meaningful way to make the big jump. Fair enough. No, my issue is that on occasion, Lewis will be on a vegan tirade, railing against meat eaters like you, me, and the rest of the world.
Regularly.
Then proceed to talk about how much he loves Lego, an activity meant to soothe little toddlers, a company that has dumped tons and tons of injection-molded plastic crap into the world for decades. My question is this. Will Lewis consider...
How do I square myself?
Not buying or building Lego until they move to a fully recyclable model as they plan to do in 2032.
Can we just talk about the green solution of having a fan on all day, by the way, on your plants? I mean, if permanently, it's such a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But also, like, I get it. Oh my God. Like the Lego, like the waste, the plastic, like destroying the world. Holy shit. I struggle with that every day. But
it eats them up inside.
It does.
I don't actually have
like the pupa of the fungus gnat.
Here's the thing about Lego.
Like the
when you
pupa.
buy £1,000 worth of Lego, right? It's about the size of a quarter of a plastic chair. Do you know what I mean? If you buy a set of lawn furniture and stick it outside or throw it in the bin, I think that's actually a lot worse. Like it might be recycled in some way. And I know Lego are trying to do their Lego initiatives to like make eco-friendly Lego, but actually on the scale of things, Lego is not actually all that much plastic, So that's how I feel about Lego. I'm sure I 100% agree it's bad. But actually I think you have to think more broadly about your one-time use of things. Welcome.
Two final emails. All right.
Right.
This I don't know if this is true. I will let you guys judge it. Okay. I think it's unlikely, but on the off chance that it's likely, I think it's interesting. Oh, that is true. Then here we go. I'll paraphrase it. On their way home, got pulled over for speeding.
Right.
Had the podcast on the phone on the dashboard. You know the way it's in that thing. Paused it, but you can still see the podcast and what I listen to on the screen.
Yes.
Officer walks up, goes through the formalities, looks around the inside of the vehicle, goes back, says, all right, I'll be right back, sit tight. About 5 minutes pass, he comes back to the window, hands me my license and insurance card, and says, I have a tiny penis. Of course, I am shocked, as that is probably the strangest interaction I've ever had with a stranger, let alone a police officer. And then I looked at my radio screen, we both burst out laughing and started to chat about the podcast for 10 minutes before he sent me on my way with a warning and no ticket. If that's true, first of all, officer Triforce fan, you should have given that guy a ticket.
For speeding.
Don't play favorites with any Triforce listeners if they're speeding.
He probably got a warning, though, right? You must
do it again.
Don't do that again, Buster.
Don't do it again, Chris from Minnesota. Hey, listen to me, Chris from Minnesota. I got a tiny penis. You got a gaping vagina. Let's make this happen. Let's go. Dante's Cove, baby.
I love that. Part one.
On the one hand, like, I agree, like, people should be paid for their time. If you do
the crime, you got to do the time.
Don't offer me free stuff, or if you do, I'll pay you for it. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, don't get in trouble for a Triforce. Don't go to prison for a Triforce listener.
No,
unless you're going to email us about what it's like in prison.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Then, by all means,
then go to prison.
All right, here's another one. This is from Patrick. I am a long-time listener and British student studying abroad in France. I recently took a solo trip to Jersey because I was bored. Went there from St. Malo with the ferry, arrived late, only had time to get to my hotel and have a meal, maybe a few drinks before I did touristy stuff the next morning. Immediately made friends with the hotel manager, who upgraded my room and told me that next door had a live band, which would be cool to check out. Went there, everyone was nice, made friends with loads of people and pensioners who even bought me a couple of pints. Just want to thank the people of Jersey for a nice welcome and being far from the stereotypical Tory tax avoiders, as they all seemed like decent, normal people. Yeah. To be honest, it was a welcome break from French people in general.
Wow. They're fine. I mean, you get everywhere you go, you have, there's degrees of people, right? But on I'd say in a general sense, it is nice here. The people are pretty laid back. The pace of life is a lot slower. It is a decent place to live and to bring up a family for sure. I'm glad you had a good experience.
That was a sponsorship from the Jersey Tourist Board.
Yeah, big thanks to the government of Jersey for sponsoring us today on this podcast where we talked about gay porn and other interesting topics. Yeah.
Yes. And also, have we got any good shout outs of stuff that we like this week? On the mailbag. I've got anything you want to shout out? Positive thing that you like?
I played a game this week called Syntopia, and it's fantastic. It was for a hashtag ad, I will say, but it is such a cool game. You manage hell, so you have to manage like an influx of souls coming into hell and process them, and so that they can go back up to the earth. Reincarnated.
Like Dungeon Keeper style.
It's Dungeon Keeper style, yeah, but it's more like the hell aspect is like, it's not like freeform. It can be, but you really want to path people into buildings so that they can get so there's like a lot of logic to it, there's like little operators where you can do like, if this person satisfies this criteria, put them on the A lane. If not, put them on like the B lane or whatever. So you know what I mean?
You can, right. Like if they're a pervert, we put them in the
you can like some of them sin too much, so they might come down as like mega gluttons, and you might have to process them different to like another one.
Right, put them through the donut shop.
And sometimes you get saints come down, and they are unable to sin. And the way to break their sainthood is to make them queue in lines for a very long time. So you have to put them into these loops so that they eventually break and then
get bored, get angry,
and then when you send them back topside, they're no longer saints and it's stuff like that. It's cool. It's really fun. It's called Syntopia. I loved it.
Okay, all right, cool. It's a good shout out. Got one, P-Flex?
A shout out?
Yeah. Anything you like? I guess it's not going to be your cat.
No.
Doesn't like his cat.
I have no shout out.
Okay. Nothing. I want to shout out the coconut tree in Bristol.
I thought you meant the concept of the coconut tree deserves a shout out.
It's a restaurant. It's like a Sri Lankan curry place. They do great. I want to keep them going, basically, because I like going there, and they never seem to be very busy. And I'm worried they're going to shut down.
Oh,
because that's the life, isn't it? You find somewhere you like.
That's the day and age. Loose, fast and loose.
But then it becomes too popular, and the quality drops, and and then you stop going anyway. So it's a fucking life.
It's always the way.
You need that sweet spot.
Well, the food looks jolly good.
It is excellent. I'll take you next time.
It's
a
nice looking restaurant. Well, I'm down next month, but only for a few days.
Oh, are you? Oh, good.
Right. Well, thank you very much for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.